No matter what I do to my lawn, cut it perfectly, make it super green. Heck, I can even mow in super stripes. Doesn't matter. Usually the number one thing that people say as they're passing by my yard is, hey man, nice edge. Every single time. Hey guys and gals, welcome to Garage Gear. I'm JB, giving you the best tips and tricks to survive life in and out of the garage. Let's talk about what's going on here. Mclane edgers, made in the USA, been around since 1946. They even have employees that have been working there for the past 40 years. And with many tools being made overseas, it's nice to know that nowadays you can still get your hands on a piece of lawn equipment made here in America. This edger by Mclane not only can edge over 100 feet a minute, but it also has a trim feature and can ride along curbs. That's pretty nice. Just so we're clear here, this video will primarily be an unboxing and quick assembly along with some initial thoughts. And by the way, this video is not sponsored. I bought this edger with my own money, so you know that you are getting an honest review. Let's get into it. This box took a bit of a beating coming all the way from California here to Buffalo. Now, a common issue some have said while unboxing theirs is that the frame was bent on the edger itself. Fingers crossed that's not the case with ours. If there are any issues, they'll be hearing from me. Pop this baby open. Please read prior to assembly and operation. Clear all sticks, stones, wire, bones, and other foreign objects from your area to be mowed before starting and using the mower. Wow. Mclane also sells real mowers too. Pretty cool that they go in detail with this so that way you know exactly what to do before you go really unboxing this thing. Mclane's return policy. Hopefully we won't need to get into this. This cardboard out, a little bit of foam. We got our handlebar assembly. Pop this cardboard off. And they really do bubble wrap this. Holy smokes. Oh, that is beautiful. Yep, smells like a Honda. This has got to be the thickest manual I've ever received for a piece of lawn equipment. More paper, paper, paper. A little bit of foam, paper. All right, let's go ahead and lift this guy out. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Whoa! Little bit of an oil leak going on here. And our last connecting rod. This thing is already prettier than a prom date. Let's get it all together. All right, owner's manual. Let's get going here. Got our little baggy old bolts. Here's our engine manual. Check it out. This is what keeps me up late at night. All this great reading material. I love it. Honda engine assembly instructions. Check it out. Look at this. We get stickers. It's like an action figure. It's great. And let's get into the meat and potatoes here, the operator's manual. Open up our nuts and bolts here. Looks like we got some little pins. So what we're gonna do first is attach the handle. What we need to do is get our 6 bolts in, 3 on this side and 3 on this side, and we have to remove these. We have a 3/8 bolt here and a 7/16 nut on the back side. Loosen them up and take them out. Same thing here on this side, and that's out. So this guy here is gonna go on the outside of the frame, like so. And then we gotta take this bracket and put it in the middle. We gotta line everything up. That's where an extra set of hands would come in handy. There's 1, there's 2. Notice I'm kind of bracing this here with my shoulder. Then we're gonna put in the lower ones, line these babies up. Now she should stay in place for you. Wiggle everything into place. There we go. Take our last 2 remaining bolts, slide those in, 1 on each side. I guess this is why they invented Legos. So us now as adults later in life know how to build stuff. So now you can see on the back side, all we gotta do is put the nuts on. Let's get the nuts on here. Boom, boom, boom. Other side, 1, 2, and 3. Let's get the impact driver going here and make quick work of this. 7/16 wrench on the back. We're gonna just snug these down. I'll tell you what, that is pretty rigid. That feels really solid in your hands. Our next step is gonna be taking this handle lever and bringing it all the way up. Pull it out a little bit and boom, all the way up. So the next step in the instructions says we have to install our control rod. It also says that we should lubricate the ends before installing them. Let's just hit them real quick with some red and tacky grease. This stuff is always our friend. Don't need a lot, just a little. Lube it up. So what we're gonna do is start at the bottom and install it from the back side. There we go, she's in. Take a pin and slide that in. We're gonna take some pliers now and bend that pin back into place. Now we're gonna install the top one, so we're gonna bring our lever down and out. And good, slide it right in. And then we're gonna slide this pin in. I'm actually gonna slide it from the back side so I can bend it easier. I'm gonna hold the pin in place from the back side, grab it with my pliers and bend it down. And now just wipe off the excess. Good. That's all she needed. I'll tell you what, this height adjuster is tight. Oh my gosh. Definitely needs to be broken in a little bit. Next it says to move the clutch depth lever into the rear notch of quadrant on handlebars. All the way back. Check. Then it says move cutter head angling lever to top notch of quadrant. And you can see what that does. That tips the blade up. Next step says remove the spark plug wire from the spark plug. Off it comes. Then it says check clutch operation by pulling the recoil starter rope. If the blade turns when the depth lever is in the top notch, loosen the handle bolts and pull towards the operator. Snug the bolts down and check clutch operation again. Well, let's check it. Nope. Not spinning. That's a good thing. So that's a good sign. We don't need to make any adjustments here on the handlebar. I'm going to reinstall my spark plug wire. Good, she's on. Next up, we're going to install the throttle wire. Okay, we're going to feed this guy up behind the handlebars, like so. To install that lever, I got to take out these screws up here. There's a 3/8 nut on the back. Just going to unscrew those. Out it comes. And now the bottom one, out it comes. Now we're going to feed our lever through sideways and then turn it, and it goes right in place. And then you want to slide the screws into the bottom just like so. I'm going to thread on our nuts. Sock it in place, tighten them down. Bottom one, snug that down. And that is a wrap on the assembly. So now the entire assembly is complete. Let's talk about what I like on this unit. One of the main reasons that I wanted this whole unit was because of this Honda GX 120 engine. These engines are super durable and practically bulletproof. They usually start on the first or second pull, and I'm not gonna get into that today, unfortunately, because we're gonna do a proper engine break-in on this guy. Tons of power on these engines, and these engines can last for years and years and years. What I also like about this unit is it's all metal construction. Solid metal. Solid metal, entire metal frame going all the way up. All metal parts throughout here on this side too. In a world full of plastic, girl, you so classic. Superman would have a tough time bending this. All these materials will hold up and last. And to help this video last with the YouTube algorithm, would you mind taking a super quick second to hit that like button down below? Thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Another component that I really like are these metal wheels. This is something you just don't see nowadays. Everything's plastic. Well, these are solid metal. And they're coated in a complete rubber tread here, allowing them to last for a long time with plenty of grip. To utilize the curb hop feature, all you gotta do is take this metal tab here in the center out, pop it right out, and then slide the wheel over, and then reinstall the clip here on the outside, just like that, and you're ready to hit the curbs. That's pretty cool. Now, most of the time, I'm gonna be running this blade in its vertical position here. But if I wanna adjust this angle a little bit, all I gotta do is reach back here, pop it up, and that tilts the blade upward at a 20-degree angle. I can then lower it just a little bit, create a real slight angle at 10 degrees. I can center it once again, lower it down 10 degrees to create a downward angle this way, and then 20 degrees at an even steeper angle. I'm gonna come back around to my front wheels, take out this insert, slide the wheels over, lock them in place, then come back around, tilt her up, and lock her in place that way. Now I'm in trimming mode. This is good to use if you got some brush or some tall grass to chop through. What's also really cool here is when this lever here is in its highest position, the blade stops spinning. Once you lower it down a notch, boom, the belt engages, everything tightens up, and the blade begins to spin. Pretty cool safety feature. Not many edgers have something like that. Now, there isn't much, but here's what grinds my gears with this edger. This lever here can be a chore to move. To get it in and out of its spot, sometimes you gotta reach across with the other arm to do so. And then same thing to pull it back. Not a huge problem for me, but maybe it'll break in over time. Shipping. Oh my gosh. I ordered this machine weeks ago. It took Mclane about 2 weeks to get the order processed, and then it took another week to get it shipped. So just to get my paws on this machine took at least 3 solid weeks. Now I know some people that ordered one of these and it took them almost 5 weeks to get their hands on it. If Mclane could tighten up their shipping and handling times, I bet there'd be some happier customers. But hey, I got it. It's in great shape. That's all that matters. Now speaking of happy customers, apparently Mclane isn't so great with handling customer service after reading some of the reviews. I, however, did not experience this. When I called Mclane to see when my item would be shipped out, I got on the phone with somebody right away, and within minutes, my problem was solved. So not a bad experience for me. Lastly, the price. This is a very expensive machine. No way around it, these edgers don't come cheap. They're a little north of $1,000. I decided to buy mine directly on the Mclane website. That way I could choose the wheels that I wanted and the engine type. Now, you might say that that's a lot of money to spend on an edger. Well, to me, it's not, because this machine is going to get many, many, many hours of use. And that's well worth it to me. You can buy one of these units on Amazon in the $600 to $700 price range, but that's going to include the Briggs & Stratton engine. You're also not going to have a choice on the wheels that you get. I figured if I'm spending all this money on this great edger, I'm gonna get what I want out of it. And you can bet your bippy that I'm putting a Honda on that bad boy. So how did we arrive at this edger? Well, like most pieces of equipment in this garage, there's a bit of a backstory. I have a lot to edge on my property. 525 linear feet to be exact. It's probably double that with the curbs. How do I know that? Well, I did a lawn measuring video a while back, and I'll have that video linked down below in the description. With all that edging, a walk-behind edger just makes sense for me. Now, I do have a walk-behind edger, but this unit is starting to show its age. When it's in use, this whole front end right here wobbles like crazy. And this handle up here doesn't always lock in place that well. And in order to slide these wheels over to hit the curbs, you gotta pull some pins out and then put in new pins when you're done. It's kind of a pain. This Predator engine though that I put on it a while back runs terrific. No complaints there whatsoever. Minus the engine, everything seems to be getting slowly, progressively worse on it. And for the better part of a decade, I've been saying to myself, when it comes time to buy a brand new edger, I'm gonna buy a commercial grade one because I'm gonna have it for a very long time. And I'm gonna use it just about every single week, probably for the rest of my life. I've been researching these walk-behind edgers for a long time as well, and the Mclane edger always seems to come out on top. I'm extremely happy to own this Mclane edger, and I welcome it to the Garage Gear family with open arms. With proper care and running this machine on ethanol-free fuel, there is no doubt in my mind that this machine will easily last the next 30 to 40 years. Trust me, there will be plenty of videos coming up on this Mclane edger. For more cool Garage Gear content, click or tap the screen right here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the garage.